Okay, remember we are still dealing with verbs, and we are still dealing with the perfect, or what you would very well call the past tense, something close to past tense. Now, we just had a look at how we add to ta, t, something like that. And I want you to pay some close attention. That's why we brought this up before we go any further. If the verb is joined with a pronoun, already that is when we add these to, ta, t, and then for the female when we add at, something like that. That is when we join the pronoun to the verb. But there comes a time when we are using the verb with a noun. Say, name of the person, name of a person, or an animal, something like that. You are now joining the noun to the verb. For example, we had an example of the verb jalasa. And we said this verb denotes to sit. How if we get a statement like Peter or Muhammad sat? How are you going to write it? How if we have a statement that Fatuma sat? How do we get about this? So we want to get this out of the way, because these are some of the very simple things that we want to handle for once and for all. And I hope God will enable you to understand this. When you get a statement like Muhammad sat, you are going to handle this into two phases. Phase number one, and I want you to know this. This is the procedure in Arabic. You will put he sat. Then number two, you'll put the doer or name, but it's supposed to be in case one. Isn't this complicated? Is this manageable? Oh, sure it is, and it is pretty simple. Here in English, you say Muhammad sat. Perfect, you are done. But here, if you want to say Muhammad sat, you are translating that into Arabic. You'll first say he sat, then you'll give the name of who sat, or the doer of the verb, the action. Remember, verbs mostly are actions, okay? You will put he sat, then you put the doer. But in case one, so let's first get this. Maybe you can easily understand. If you want to say he sat, you'll put jalasa, that is step number one. Then step number 2, who sat? Muhammad. But Muhammad is going to be put in case 1, which is Muhammadun. Muhammadun. So Muhammad sat is going to be written as Jalasa Muhammadun. Jalasa Muhammadun. To be honest, what is so hard here? If you have been following from the start. Okay, let's get another one. Fatuma sat. Fatuma sat. First of all, you have to write number 1, she sat. Then number 2, who? But in case 1. Okay, so she sat. To sit, if this is to sit, or he sat, jalasa, we're going to put jalasat. Jalasat. Okay, then who? Fatuma is going to be Fatumatu. You remember we had Fatumatu, so it will be Fatumatu. So our answer here is going to be Jalasat Fatumatu. Fatuma sat. Jalasat Fatumatu. You have to write she sat, Jalasat. Then you put the name, who. That is the procedure. That is the procedure. So you can have as many examples to this as possible, but I wanted to put this across so that people don't get confused. People don't get confused when things begin to come. Okay, Muhammad, another example. Okay, let's use this space. Muhammad taught. Using our principle number 1, we are going to say, because Muhammad is a man, we are going to say he taught. What is he taught? We said he taught is Allama. Allama. And then 2, Muhammad in case 1 is going to be Muhammadun. Muhammadun. So our ultimate answer is going to be Allama Muhammadun. Allama Muhammadun. So that is Muhammad taught. Before, if you say he taught, you simply put this Allama. So in Arabic, apart from English, don't make these direct translations that he taught, Muhammad taught, and you say Muhammad Allama. No, you have to bring the verb first, then the doer comes last. And you hear some people who are so good in Arabic, when they're trying to speak English, he came Musa. he came, Musa. He's trying to make a direct translation from Arabic to English, because in Arabic, the verb will come first, then you'll begin to think of who did this action in the verb. If you want to say, he fought, or you say, Musa fought. In translating to Arabic, you'll have to first say, he fought, then you give the name. Okay? If you want to say, Khalid opened, I have to first say, he opened Khalid. So I think this is the logic I wanted you to pick from these brief examples. Like if someone say, Khalid opened. First of all, you have to ask, number one, in our step-by-step approach, he opened. You say, this guy told us that when I get to this stage, I have to first say, Khalid is a man. Therefore, the first step is he opened. Then two, I'll think of who did the action, the doer, and give his name in case one. So he opened, you'll note that he opened is Fataha. Khalid in case one is Khalidun. Fataha Khalidun. So if you note this, even when we don't go any further, but you note this, that this is not like English. In English, you'll give the name of the doer first. Muhammad fought. You cannot say, he fought Muhammad. It's like you are saying that the person being fought was Muhammad. But no. Do not confuse. Simply know it by heart that in Arabic, the verb will come first, then the doer will follow, and in case one. So that's why you will hear, if I want to say Maryam taught, Maryam taught, Maryam taught. First thing you have to think of is that she taught. And two, who? Maryam, but in case one. Therefore, you come to ask, what is she taught? She taught is going to be Allamat. Then Maryam in case one is going to be Maryam. You must go back to the isim. Why aren't we saying Maryamun? No. There has to be a reason. I want you to go back, refer to those first lessons that we had about cases, about Irab. You'll see they'll be so helpful, so you are not lost when you get here. So Maryam taught is going to be Allamat Maryam. Allamat Maryam. Maryam taught. So I want this to sink in your head that we shall bring the verb first, and like we have conjoined the pronoun with it, she taught, then Maryam. So in translating this, Maryam taught, it's like you're saying she taught Maryam. She taught. Then you remember to give the name of the person who did it actually. So it's a principle, it's a fashion of the language. Okay? You have to go with it, you have to follow it, you have to get used to it, because that's how it is. That's how it is. We shall also have another example here as we wind up. I just want this to sink in your head. If you say Allah did, in our step-by-step approach, you'll know we say he did. Then number 2, who or doer in case 1. Okay, so he did is going to be he did for Allah. Allah in case 1 is going to be Allahu. So our answer is going to be for Allah, Allahu. For Allah, Allah. Okay, so when you help me with only one thing today, that when we say translate Khalid opened, in our step-by-step approach, you will bring the verb first and bring the verb along with the pronoun. In this case, we're talking about Khalid. Khalid is a man, therefore you have to say he opened. You bring that opened first, fataha, then bring Khalid in case 1, and it will be fataha Khalidun. So if you only remember that the verb will come, then the doer will follow. The verb will come and then the doer will follow. It's going to help you along as we go. It's going to help you as we go along with this, and I hope you'll be in position to remember this as we move on and on and on. You can try out as many other options as possible. Try out these nouns. For example, you can now end. Just translate this to me. A Muslim taught. How would you translate this? A Muslim taught. A Muslim taught. Remember, you have been giving names. Now there is another noun. A Muslim taught. First of all, in our step-by-step approach, you say he taught. Then who give the noun, but in case 1. So he taught. We will see it will be allama. Muslim in case 1. Allama Muslimun. This is how easy this thing can be. So we are not going to proceed from here. This will be enough for the day, enough for today. Hope you can as well add it to the first bit that we had about verbs, and you join what you have studied today and see if you can make out some good meaning and reason to do what you're supposed to do in a different fashion. This is it. This is it for today. See you soon. Thank you.